Hello everyone. The title of today's episode is The Grace of the Pond. And right now I'm sitting in front of a pond and just looking. And I noticed that there is a serenity in how I'm looking at the pond just being there, and the birds in the pond creating ripples over the pond, and there's a sense of serenity and peace and grace of just looking at life. But when we also look at the life that we are, we too can also go into states of graceful self-acknowledgement, where just like we're seeing the gentleness and the grace of the pond, similarly, we're also observing the grace of how we're alive. What that means is, just like how gentle those ripples are moving on the pond, man's breath is occurring. And when you sit by the natural world, you're allowing yourself to see yourself before ideology could make things a bit unnatural. For the beautiful thing about a pond is that once the ripples end, there is the reflection of the limitless sky and the stars. However, we also see that it's as if even though the pond can be completely still and reflect an infinite nature, it's still there for other life forms, such as the ducks or whatever, to go in the lake. They go in the lake. And it's as if one environment has many purposes, but its focus is of another intention. What that means is, based on how man is creating a hierarchy, he's blinding himself to the connection that is this world. Once man finds serenity and observing reality gracefully in all realities, everything, including your body and bodies of thought, even at times, even though they're not things, but there is this knowing that will find you, and it's a peaceful, selfless, graceful knowing. And as it does, you become more gentler with your world, because you're not trying to define it or figure it out by first considering you're separate. What that means is, it seemed that moment when the human being opened his eyes, he had two choices: to see a disconnected world or a connected world. And the thing is, our sciences and personalities and pretty much how an individual functions is based on separatism, but there are some natural lessons that you will get that are just innately connected. So what that means is, within you as a life that is aware of form, that aspect of livelihood is connected. What that means is, regardless of the uniqueness in how you are alive and I am alive, it seems that this breath is weaving us to this reality, this place, just like. One can still be graceful in ignorance, but once they become aware of their ignorance, they will situate themselves beyond it. And in a sense, just like that moment where that footballer is diving to make a header, who's jumping to make a header, a part of him knows that the possibility is there, and so it can be done. And as it's being done, it's as if the human being's achievement was already achieved before he does it. Meaning that the capacity for greatness is within everybody, and also within everybody. You see, spirituality is not something to be a response to our physical sciences. Spirituality must respect external sciences. But spirituality is an addition in suggesting how the search for meaning in this life is not just linearly done. There are non-linear moments. There are moments where you fall in love with someone, but also fall in love with your world, fall in love with existence, how you're alive. And it's not a love based on an ideology where you're like, oh gosh, I'm alive. It's one of those things where it is desireless because it is selfless. And you begin to know yourself as the beauty of every sound in every world. And there's a great peace here. Much blessings and namaste.